Hey, everybody, welcome to the Future Star series. We are really excited today to have the extremely talented, of course, Hannah Strumner with us today. Hannah, how are you?
I am doing awesome. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this has been kind of something that's been in the works a while. So, we're so glad to finally get a chance to get you on this series. It's something that I don't do often, but when I do it, I have fun, and hopefully you will today as well. So, we're looking forward to it.
I am so looking forward to it. I'm really excited to see and hear all the questions.
All right, so let's do it without further ado. So, number one, how did you get started with music? So, I think I read online that you started at the age of 6 and you published when you were 13?
Yes, so I started music around 6, and I took piano lessons for little, and I would write
Mhm.
a lot of songs because I got like bullied in school, and I had to deal with a lot of health issues, so I go to like the hospitals a lot, and so I come back, and the kids weren't exactly that welcoming when I'd come back.
Oh,
So I thought I'm gonna turn this into something good. So I started playing music and I started writing songs about how I was feeling.
love it. Oh, that's awesome. Do you remember the first song you wrote?
Oh my goodness, I've written so many different ones, but I think the one that I really remember that I just remember to this day is a song called 550 Days. And
Ah,
I just kind of started to really get into the lyrics and the melody. And I was like around 6 or 7 when I wrote that. And I actually had recorded it on like a camera or my webcam. And my mom held up the webcam, and then I went to the piano. I started playing it, and then I had put it on online, like on YouTube, and because my brother and we shared a YouTube channel, and it was just that first thing that I shared.
oh, I love it. That's so cool. I'll tell you, like, that's something that I enjoyed when I was a kid was music. My mom used to tell me, and I don't remember this, that when I came home from preschool, what would happen is I would go to the piano and just play songs that I heard that day. And so it's funny because, like, my sister, she can read music completely. Like, she can sight read music, play it perfectly the first time. Not me. I play it by ear. If you play me a song,
Me
I'll play it way
too.
back.
Oh yeah, totally. By ear, all the terms, just nah. I'm so into just I hear it or I hear a chord. I'll kind of put my fingers on the guitar, ukulele, and I'll be like, "That sounds really cool. I'm gonna like put that down." And but I do it by ear. Like I might not remember every chord name, but I'll remember it by ear.
Mhm. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I know, you had mentioned the first song you wrote. One of the first ones I remember writing was my parents will still, like, kinda give me a hard time about it to this day. I used to drop my Cheerios all the time when I was a kid, so the first song I wrote was actually called Cheerios Falling. And
Oh, that's so cool. Oh my
so
gosh.
and I have no idea what the lyrics were. I don't remember them, but I just went to the piano and I remember I would like write the notes on the little staff measure and I'm like so
That's
anyway, that
awesome.
was yeah, it was great.
You should turn that into a rock song, like modernize it, kind of because that would be a cool like album title or a single. Like it just has some sort of vibe to it. I love that. That is so cool.
Yeah, it's something fun. I mean, so it's so great. Like, I think it's great when parents like expose music to us when we're, really tiny like that, and you can tell where there's an interest there. And so
Yes,
I was excited. I obviously had an interest in the piano when I was very little, and sounds like you did too. Or was there like another
definitely.
instrument you liked more besides the piano?
I think so. What happened is I played, piano a lot, and there was a point where I wanted to stop playing, and my mom said, well, she knew that I wanted to do singing lessons, so she told me if you continue to do 30 minutes piano, I will have you do singing lessons as well, so it'll be like an hour. And I'm thankful she did because I, was able to keep the skills of piano, sing, and then I started learning guitar. I self-taught myself guitar and ukulele, and then that's kind of how I got into all my instruments.
Oh, that's awesome. So do you have a preference today? Which one you like better?
I love the guitar lately. I like to play
Okay.
ukulele on my lives, but I love writing on guitar because it just
Oh,
has a
cool.
very country vibe to it.
Definitely. Oh, that's amazing. Like, I tried to play guitar and I could not get my hands going from piano this way to the guitar this way. I'm like, no. It's
No, yes.
So I went with the drums, and then I started playing drums, and and it was funny because I didn't play drums till I was in high school, and it wasn't until we did what was a student-run musical, and we didn't have a drummer. Our drummer got sick, and we had 3
Oh,
shows that we were doing, and we're like, "Who's gonna play drums?" I was actually conducting at the time, the orchestra that would do the music for the show. So I was like, "Well, I guess I'm gonna have to play drums." Well, I started playing, and they're like, "Have you ever played drums before?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Well, you should." So then, ever since then, I filled in for these 3 shows, played drums, had no idea what I was doing, and it worked out well. So
that's
we all find a
awesome.
way. Yeah, we
That's
all find
amazing.
a way.
That's great.
Yeah. So I wish I could pick up guitar like that, but I can't. So more powers and kudos to you for that, you know? So
Thank you.
congratulations. Yeah. So the other thing I noticed, tell us about this church choir. I think that's so cool. So are you still working with that or what are you doing with that?
So I did church choir when I was younger, like, and I've always wanted to do it again, because I had moved, so there's like different churches, here. So I do really want to. I love singing. Like sometimes I'll like sing like a lot of like religious songs and stuff,
Okay.
and so I really loved being in church choir because I we did this thing where when we sang, we do like little dances and stuff, but with like our hands.
I
So
love it.
it was super fun, and I think that really made me realize that I loved being able to like perform and to sing, and that kind of was where something clicked as well. Like, hey, this is what I want to do, not only as just for fun, but like as a career.
That's awesome. Hey, that was actually gonna be my next question, which you answered already. So when did you know you wanted to do music? And you just answered that. And that's great. What a great way to get into it. And I one of the things that it's hard for me is I'm kind of like you mentioned the Queen shirt earlier. Freddie Mercury used to always love to sing. He wanted to be that performer, but they were ready to kill him because they wanted him on piano. Well, I'm the same way. I love to sing, but I can't get away from the piano. Everybody wants me to play the piano every time I start playing it. So, do you find that too, or people just kind of want you to sing, or do you kind of like do they want you more on the instrument side, or do you like being that performer and kind of being out front too?
I'd say the performing. I think a lot of people like my songs that I write, and I sing them, and I feel like there have been times I think like I have certain music, but let's say I write some sort of really rock song where it's just super rock and it doesn't fit my voice because I feel like I have a really like when I sing I have like more of a country voice, so it wouldn't sound good if it was just plain rock or some sort of metal or something. So if I wrote
Mhm.
that, I would love to be able to have another artist sing it. I think it would be really cool. But I always like to perform my own songs and just be able to kind of like share them. Usually people like when I play guitar and ukulele a lot. I love
Mhm.
piano, but I feel like there's something for me that I could be very flexible and just like bring my guitar with me to like parties or events and stuff and just be like playing for people.
Oh, that's all. No, I'm the same. I love performing. I just love seeing people happy, and when you perform and you see people happy and you get that reaction, that's what it's about. Uh,
Definitely,
that's
definitely.
awesome. Well, you were talking about writing music. So, do you like to write the lyrics first, or do you actually like to write the music first on the instrument?
You know, okay, so it kind of depends, but sometimes it's so weird, but I'll just be strumming my instrument and I'll just start singing random things and just everything just will fall into place. It's
Yep.
it's something that I usually do. Sometimes I'll say I got to write a song about this, but it doesn't always become that song. It just kind of depends on the vibe and what I'm feeling at that day. So if I'm feeling happy, I'm not going to write a song about a breakup. But if I'm kind of feeling blue and kind of down, I'm going to write a song about a breakup.
No, I get that. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think I'm the same way. I'm kinda like half and half. So sometimes the lyrics come quicker than the actual music part, or the tune or the melody. But yeah, sometimes it's like half and half. And
Yes.
sometimes it just happens to click. Like it's weird. Like they come to me in bunches, it seems like I'll wake up from a nap or something, and all of a sudden I have two or three ideas in my head, and I'm like coming downstairs and trying to get to the keyboard to write them. So before I forget them. And that's, I think, the big thing. So do you have
Yes.
like a process? Do you tend to like just like if you forget something, do you write it down right away if something comes in your head, or what do you kind of do?
So I usually will record it on my phone on voice memos, and
Hmm.
I'll write it in my notes. My storage has been full because of all of the songs and stuff. So I'll
Hmm.
have like 1,000 voice memos, like 1,000 notes on my phone, and I just kind of will come up with ideas, titles, concepts, or lyrics, and I
Hmm.
will just try not to forget it. I have a few times forgotten things. If like it's really good, it'll come back to me. But if it's
Right.
something that I don't quite remember, then I just kind of will try to write a different song or try to get to the point where I was.
Sure. No, I totally get that. All right, so here we go. We talked before we kind of did this interview online for a couple moments, and I told you that I had a favorite song, and you talked about writing lyrics. So, "Fool School" is my favorite song, and
I love that.
it's the opening line. Used to think that popular was cool, but now I see that they're all tools. Like, tell me,
Uh,
how did you come up with that, or where did that? Was that just like from your gut, or how did that happen?
So I was thinking about, I was in school and being bullied, and it was weird
Hmm.
because I'd left school, and years later, the kids would harass me on social media. They would like
That's
just kind
crazy.
of they come on that end. So I was just thinking about it, and I was kind of wondering like why did they do that? And I thought, I want a song that's a lesson that basically has where it teaches people if you follow this lifestyle, if you do this, bully people and you continue on to your adulthood, that's not
Hmm.
that's not always a good thing. I mean, it's not. So, I wanted to write a song about that and where these characters and people were and like how their life has been since they've continued those ways. So one person ended up in jail, one
Wow.
person's plans didn't work out, one person
Mhm.
nobody knows what happened to them, stuff like that. So
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that most of the time when the kids do that, it's because they're jealous, and they're probably jealous of what you've been able to accomplish because
well,
you've accomplished a lot. So congratulations with that. And,
thank you.
so good that you were able to turn that into positive energy. Me, I can tell you that I was probably bullied a lot in school because I was small. I was 5 foot. So I'm like
Oh,
only 5'1", 5'2" now. So it was the
mm,
same thing. They would be like, "Well, who's this little guy?" And then all of a sudden, I'm doing concerts. I'm up on stage conducting orchestra, and they're like, "Wait a minute, why were we picking on
yeah,
this kid?" They were jealous.
exactly.
They were jealous.
Yes.
And so now it's like, yeah. So I thought that was great. I'm like, she just called them all tools. I'm like, that's, I'm like, I love it. That's great. So along with that, tell us about your latest album, the inspiration behind it. So I love Brown Eyes, love the energy of
Thank
that,
you.
and of course, Ready to Let Go. That video is just amazing. Like the photography and the video on that, like where you were shooting it, that it was just
Thank you.
unbelievable. So yeah, tell us a little bit about those and the latest album.
So the album came out last year, and
Mm-hmm.
after I was diagnosed as type 1 diabetic, I
Mm-hmm.
thought in my head, I really want to create something and just keep going. I don't want to let this bring me down because I was diagnosed at 17. So
Okay.
what I did was I created a whole bunch of songs, and I kind of just picked the ones that I really liked the most, and
Mm-hmm.
I put them in the album, recorded it. Now, Are You Ready to Let Go? I wanted it to be like a song about, letting go and moving forward and not holding on to things. And so I'm like, this would be a really good duet, and I want to make a music
Mm-hmm.
video. So I asked one of my friends who does music, and he will play different gigs and stuff,
Nice.
and we just kind of started to record it, and we did the music video, And it was so cold that day. It was like 17 degrees out, and I was
Oh
wearing like a
god.
dress that has tank top, but I'm
Oh
like,
no.
I want it to be like a cold winter, I wanted to have that feel. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, just imagine, I was thinking to myself, imagine the wind that's blowing that's really cold to be hot air. That's what I kept saying to myself to get through it.
Wow. Unbelievable. Oh, that's amazing. I mean, so you took one for the team basically, yeah, and just did the best you could that day. That's amazing. That's awesome. Alright, and Perfectly Incredibly did not make the cut. What happened? I love that song too. What happened with that
Thank
one?
you. So that was a song, but it wasn't produced by my producer in Idaho. So it was produced by somebody in Britain. So I wanted, like, because it had a different sound and different
Mhm,
vibe a little, I kind of wanted it to have like that separate thing. So I thought I'll just put it out and see what people think. And
mhm.
it actually got really good response. So I was really happy, and it got on the iTunes charts in, I don't know where it was. It was in a different country, but
Oh, wow.
so that was exciting.
Yeah.
And I think it was in Spain that it did.
Oh,
So
okay.
I have different followers from a lot of different countries. So I was so excited to see that, and it was so awesome.
Oh, well, good for you. All right. Well,
Thank
I have
you.
one last question here. So,
Okay.
and this is one that what do I need to do to get my name written on one of your ukuleles or your closet wall? That's what I need to.
Oh, that's a good question. So, well, I will definitely write your name on my ukulele
Okay.
wall.
Okay.
But usually, so because I'm an independent artist, a lot of people will like get like Instagram badges, and that'll the proceeds go toward my music, because then I
Oh.
could go to the studio and I record, and so I wanted a way to like remember the names and to be able to have that forever, to say, hey, all these people, they are the reason why I'm able to go to the studio and record. And so
Mhm.
I wanted to do this thing where I wrote on my ukulele, and then my mom's like, you should write on the wall. And I'm like, Mom, really? Like, this is
You
my
want me to
mom
do that?
telling me this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm doing that. So we went
Yeah.
out and we got some cool pens that I could use to write on the wall. It was so fun. So I love it.
Oh, that's great. That is so cool that you do that. And, I wish I thought of something like that because I can tell you no matter who I play with, whether they've been a beginner musician or they've been really experienced, and I was fortunate to play with some pretty experienced musicians. I've always learned from them, and that's the way I look at it. And if you get a chance to play with any musician and you get an opportunity to see what they do, no matter how good they are, beginner or advanced, it just makes you better
That's
and it
very
opens your
true.
horizons. So, that's kind of one of the way I look at it. So very kind of you to do that and very cool as well. And I'm sure they appreciate it,
Oh,
also.
thank
So
you.
yeah. So and I love the energy that you have. Definitely, good vibes too. And that's I think what attracts a lot of your followers to you too. You just have that positive energy and keep that going. Don't lose that
Oh,
for
thank you
sure.
so much. That is so kind of you. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
Darling, I can't think. No, darling, I can't blink. Whoa, I can't wait a second in my head.
All right. So what I do, I don't know if you've ever seen. There's a show that Sammy Hagar does that's called Rock and Roll Road Trip, and I don't know if you've ever seen that. Obviously, you know who
I
Sammy
have
Hagar
not.
is, right? Okay. So, Sammy Hagar, obviously lead singer from Van Halen, and in addition to being a solo artist, and he does this game called This or That. And so, what it is I give you two things, and you have to pick one or the other, and you can't go like,
Okay.
oh well, or like get a tie. So you have to actually, and some of them are harder than others. So, let's give this a shot and see how you do.
Okay.
So, all
Okay.
right.
I'm
So the
so
first
excited.
one, yeah, this is fun. All right. So the first one, I'll go really easy: live stream
Okay.
or recording.
Oh my goodness. That's hard. Let's say, oh wow. I would say I like live streaming because I could connect with people. Like, I could talk to my listeners. It's just, but I like recording too. Oh, this is hard. Well, let's say, okay, at night I'm live streaming.
Mm,
In the
okay.
day I'm recording.
All right, cool. Fair enough. All right, Miranda Lambert or Taylor Swift?
Oh my goodness, it's hard. Taylor Swift. I'd say Taylor Swift.
All right, she is probably about 10 minutes away from me right now because
Taylor Swift?
She is. She is playing at the stadium about 10 minutes down the street from where I am right now.
Oh, wow, that's
So
amazing.
she's in Philadelphia this weekend playing at Lincoln Financial Field, and she started her concert last night, and she's going through till Sunday.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it with,
I
like, if you had the windows open?
I didn't. If I drove a little closer, definitely.
Oh,
But it's raining tonight, so I don't know if they're actually gonna be able to get it in. I think they're gonna try, but
oh,
but last night there was so much buzz about it, like the traffic was crazy. So
wow.
yeah. So she's in town. I think she'll be here another day, like I said. And so everybody in Philadelphia is excited this year. So good choice
That's
there. Taylor
awesome.
Swift. All right, I'll give you another tough one. Bobby Gentry or
Okay.
Carrie Underwood?
Oh, wow, that's really hard. I would say I'd say Carrie Underwood. Carrie
Okay.
Underwood.
Any reason or just
I would say, I've been listening to her music a lot more. I mean,
Mhm,
I've listened to Bobby Gentry and I love her music too. But I'd say lately, like the vibe that I'm in right now has been more of Carrie Underwood, just because probably because I've been recording more and writing more country style stuff, like really country. So
mhm.
yeah.
Okay, very cool. Alright, so this next one is probably one of my favorites. Alright, School or Tool?
Ooh. Let's see. I would say I would say let's say I like could I add full school in that? Like
Yes, absolutely. I'll give you that for sure. Alright, very good. Guitar or ukulele?
I'd say guitar. Guitar.
Okay, guitar, yeah, I don't blame you. Band or solo?
Solo.
Oh, okay. I that's interesting. Okay, you like the solo. I could go either way because 'cause I've done both, but, okay. I like this one too. Your brother or country music? Because I know how much he loves country music.
Oh, let's see. Should I do I would say I mean my brother, but I'd say my brother yeah, I'd say my brother
Okay.
he's really cool. I mean, he's not that great at singing country music, but he's pretty cool. So it's definitely my brother.
Okay. Now, is that true? I watched the last interview, obviously, you posted a couple days ago,
Yeah,
and I saw you mention that he really doesn't like country music, but he
yeah.
liked I forget what song it was that you had mentioned he liked
Hit and
actually.
run.
Hit and Run, okay, that's right, yeah, so so good for him, now is he older or younger than you, or
He's 2 years older, so he's
okay,
23.
he's 23, alright, very good. I have a sister that's 2 years older than me, so I'm right with you. So, alright, and then the last one, and this may be the toughest one of them all.
Ooh,
Sal
okay.
Gracie or Billy Joel?
Ooh, I'd say Billy Joel. Billy Joel, totally. Billy Joel. Oh yeah, I
Alright.
totally. I want those front row tickets to Billy Joel.
I'm sure, yes. So we'll have to work on that when he comes next. I think actually he's goes out once in a while, but he generally is playing in New York now. So if we can ever get you on the East Coast, we'll definitely work on
That's
that and try to
awesome. That would be so cool.
yeah, that will work on that for you.
Darling, I can't think. No, darling, I can't blink. Whoa, I can't wait a second in my head.
And now you get to get back at me. So now you get
Okay.
to ask me anything you want to
Okay.
ask me,
Ooh.
and you get to kind of, it could be a this or that question, it could be a general question, whatever you want to do. So this is
Okay.
your show now.
Ooh. Okay, here's my invisible mic.
Okay.
Um, would you rather have play like write songs and only be able to write them, or sing covers like of songs? Like you can't sing your
Ooh.
own songs, but you can sing the covers. So what one would you rather do?
Wow. Okay. That's a great question. I would definitely like to do my own songs. So, and the only reason why is because I've played in cover bands for years and years. And not that it's not a lot of fun. I've been in cover bands, wedding bands. It's been so much fun, but there's nothing like your own music and seeing
Yes,
people react to it. So
that's
definitely
very
my own music.
true. Yeah, totally, totally my own music as well. So, okay. how long have you been doing this? Like, how long have you what got you into it? Like, with the interviewing and everything?
Well, the interviewing was funny. How I got into the interviewing was this, I if somebody on Twitter actually, and her name was Stephanie Gracie. She had the same last name as me.
Oh,
And I did not know that she was related to Charlie Gracie, who was a
oh,
famous
wow.
musician. So
Uh-huh.
I had no idea. So we lived in Pennsylvania. We both were in Pennsylvania. And I was like, this is pretty cool. She just has the same last name. She lives in Pennsylvania. Let me just try to connect with her. She was like, yeah, let's do it. And everything. We, talked a little bit beforehand. We did the interview. And right from then and there, it just kind of went on. And I was like, I should do this more often. Then Allison Leah was the second one. She's very well-known musician. Very, she's been singing since she's been like same thing, 5, 6 years old. She sang on the Hess truck commercials, all types of things. So I interviewed her, and then you are number three.
Wow, I'm honored. That is so cool.
Yeah. So it's something I love to do. I just love meeting other musicians, no matter where they are, close or far. But who knows? Maybe I'll take another trip to, somewhere on the West Coast soon and visit. Who knows? But
Yeah,
or
that's
like
so
you said,
cool.
yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
hmm
Uh,
so what else you got? What else do you want to fire at me here?
Ooh, okay. Let's see. Is anyone in your family musical?
Oh, another good question. Yes. So the answer is yes. My grandfather is where I got my talent from. So he played the same way I do, which is he could hear a song and just play it through on the first time without any mistakes. And so apparently I have that gift, which is a wonderful gift to have. My sister, who we talked about a little bit earlier before the interview, also can play very well. My nieces, who are 10 and 14 now, believe it or not, I'm like, oh my God, they they both play piano and violin, so it is a musical family, yes.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Okay, here's a good one.
Okay.
Have you considered making a band with your family, like a family band?
Ooh, we have not. That's actually something that's really interesting. That would be cool to do. It's funny. I never remember performing with my sister, believe it or not. And we're only 2 years apart, so you think we would have. And there was one time that we wanted to. And we went to what was called Westminster Choir College for the summer, and we there was these two grand pianos that were side by side, and they did this song, and it was a duet, and I wanted to do that, but we just, for whatever reason, I ended up playing like Root Beer Rag or something by like Scott Joplin. We just never had a chance to do it, but that would be really a cool idea. I'd like that. So now you're putting ideas in my head.
Well, I can't wait to get one of the family band T-shirts, just like the Queen. You could do like a theme with your whole family.
That's right. Yeah, we'll have to have the family in here, yeah, with all the pieces, and yeah, that's great. I know my niece is getting into drums now, so who knows?
That's so cool. That's awesome. That is really
Yeah.
cool. That must be so exciting to see like somebody getting into something that really just you have a passion about.
It is, and just what's I think it was, like, actually more emotional because my sister would play, like, accompaniment with her and them, and I'm like, "Oh my god," my sister was, like, playing accompaniment with her kids, like, I can't believe this, like,
Wow.
it was just eye-opening, and it's just amazing, to just see how it comes around and the
That's
life cycle.
awesome.
Mhm.
That's great.
Yeah.
Let's see if trying to think if I have any. Okay, so do you have any other things you like to do besides music?
Oh, wow. Another great question. So, yes, I do love sports. So I do host a podcast with my friends and we talk about sports. It could be football, baseball, whatever it might be.
What
It's
is it
called
called?
the Enough Said podcast. And it's
Nice.
usually every Sunday night, and I'm the host of it. And there's three of us, in addition to me, and we just have a great time. And we've recently got a bunch of followers, and so it's exciting, and I love like radio communication. When I was in college, I had two radio shows. I went to St. Joe's
Wow,
University, so I had two radio shows there, and as you can probably see by the hat.
that's
So
great.
yeah, so yes, I do like to do that on the side. I love like radio or hosting and sports, or something that I really enjoy.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah.
That's cool to like have different things you like to do. Even though music is like a huge part of your life, like you still have other things that you like to do along with it.
Yeah. Now, what about you? Is there anything besides music you like to do? Are you doing it full time or?
Yes. So I'm doing music all the time.
Okay.
I also love but I am doing college as well, like with it, because I wanted to basically. I'm doing marketing, so you kind of learn how to market your music. You know how to get your music
Mhm.
out there, and I love it, and I love to cook. Cooking is like so cool.
Oh,
My
okay.
dad was a sous chef for a while,
Oh,
and
wow, amazing.
so I've learned by watching him, and I love gardening, and I love being with my dogs. My dogs are so sweet, both of them, Taco and Nugget. So,
Love it. I have 2 myself. I have Max and Mindy, and,
aw.
so, yeah, and I love the cooking. I'm Italian, so cooking is, like
I am too. I'm Italian as
Are
well.
you really? Okay.
Yes.
Alright, awesome. Oh, a sous chef, that's amazing. I can't I would love to taste the food sometime, that would be awesome. So, we
Oh,
have to
thank you.
yeah, we'd have to work that out.
Yeah, totally.
So, alright, cool. So you have some good things you like to do there. Any other questions you wanna ask me, or
Let's see. I'm trying to
if
think.
not, that's cool. I can still fire away for another minute, and we'll wrap it up.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna think of this one.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have like a goal like for your music? Like what is like the main goal that you have?
I think just to let people enjoy it, as much as I do. I think that's the goal. If they like one of my songs, that means everything to me. Like it's
Mm,
humble that one of the things I always said, I was in 2 original bands that I wrote the music for, and it just the fact that people will come over to my house, spend time, practice that music, go want to play it live, like it's humbling. It really is. It's
yes,
like
yes,
wow, like people actually want to listen to it and they actually enjoy it. And that's the only thing I can ask. Just like take them away from the everyday stress and just enjoy something, have fun with it, and that's what
yes.
I'm hoping for.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. That is
yeah,
really like having somebody enjoy your music is it's very like you said, it's very humbling and it's just
mhm,
like you want your music to help them because I've
yes,
listened to so much music and it's helped me and you want the same experience for the listener.
that's a great way to put it. That's exactly right. Yeah, oh, I love that. And you've been doing this for a long time as well. Now, are you playing out a lot now, or is it pretty much just the recording? Or
Lately I've been recording, but I
okay,
am sometimes playing at different places and stuff. But
okay,
I'm excited for this new song because then I can play that live, and then I have a lot of songs that I've created, and I like doing live streams as well because I can like connect with people all over the world, and it's really cool to see if somebody's having a bad day and they say, "Oh, this live stream made my day." You're like, "I'm so
mhm.
glad that I can help you," you know?
Yeah, that's right. And that with just trying to stay positive and keeping people positive today, I think is so important. And music is therapy. It really is, and
Definitely, definitely.
yeah, and something that we all enjoy. And yeah, and I have a duet. If you ever want to sing a duet, I have a song ready to go.
That's so
So
cool.
yeah,
That's
let me know.
awesome. Yeah, send it over.
I will. I definitely will send it over, and, it's funny because the song I haven't, like, recorded it the same way yet. So,
Yeah.
people love the song. They've recorded it 3 different ways. I've had it recorded country, I've had it recorded R&B, and then more like a rock and roll kinda ballad.
Nice. That's
So
great.
so I have no idea which way I want the song to go, but I do know it's a
Ah,
duet, and
that's
I
awesome.
I definitely would like, female vocals on it. So,
That's
not to
great.
put you on the spot, but I'm
Yeah,
just
that
saying
would
if
be
you have
awesome. I'd love to
yeah.
definitely send it to me. I totally would love to hear it, and uh, yeah, that's great. I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Alright, cool, awesome. Well, we'll just wrap up here talking about, like, the future really quickly. So what's next for you? I know obviously, like you said, the song, but anything else? Like, what are your goals? You asked me about mine down the line. Like, what are you hopeful for, like, for a year or 2 from now, and where do you wanna be?
I think just continuing music and
Mhm,
performing and recording and it's just I want to create more music that just any type of music, a variety. I like to be able to create, and it's so exciting whenever you come up with a song idea that you really, really like you feel very passionate
mhm.
about, and you know, hey, this could really impact somebody, and going to the studio and having every single instrument on it and thinking back to the time that you just wrote that song and you were sitting on your bedroom floor, you know?
Yeah. Yep. And all of a sudden, you look back at it and you're like, "Wait, I just wrote
Yeah.
that? Where'd this come from?" And you start hearing all the different parts come together, and you're like, "That just came out of me. Like, where
Wow.
did this come from?" You know?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's
Yeah.
so
It
exciting to hear your music
it
recorded, you
is.
know?
It is. And, that's a great segue kind of into the last piece. So, I guess another album coming up or just single songs? Like, what are you hopeful for?
Definitely working for an album, and also we first got some singles, and then that's when the album comes in. But I definitely wanted to have some singles so then people had something to listen to in the meantime, because as you probably know a lot, that the albums take a lot of time.
Yes.
So it's definitely like something I really want to do, but I also want people to hear new content as well. So,
Awesome. Yeah, no, really cool. Really quickly, just tell people too, like where they can find you online, just so they know. Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
So I am on all social media like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. It's just my name, Hannah Strumner. I'm
Mhm.
on iTunes and Spotify, Apple Music, and I have a CD on my website, which is just my name, and then you add .com to it. So there's a lot of ways to find my music and a lot of ways to find me, and I look forward to seeing anybody who comes on and joins my streams.
Yep, and great. Yeah, definitely. So everybody who's listening to this will definitely check you out. So again, Hannah Strumner, check her out online. She's got some great music. We definitely appreciate you coming on the show today, and
Well, thank you.
we could do part two. You never know. There's
Yeah,
more to
I
this.
love. Let's do it. That would be so
So
fun.
one of the things I love doing, I don't know if you've ever done. Have you ever done Mad Libs before?
I have. I love those. I love those so much.
So that could be part 2. We do Mad
Okay,
Libs.
okay.
So, look
The Mad Lib edition. I love it.
yes, the Mad Lib edition. It's funny. It's a good time. So, we'll definitely get into that. So,
Awesome.
all right. So everybody, thank you again for joining us today. Hannah, you can hang on here. I'm just gonna stop the recording,
Okay.
and, we'll go from there. So and we'll
Awesome.
talk to everybody soon. Thanks again for watching
Bye.
the Future Star series, everybody. Take care.